My name is Dan Collins, live in Metro Atlanta in Marietta, Georgia, and here today with my wife Vicki and son Brett. Brett is 14 years old. He is our third child. About to enter high school, ninth grade here in Marietta. We'll be attending public school here in town. And we learned early on with Brett that he had a great difficulty in reading. In the first grade, we went through the first series of testing, standardized testing with Brett. And being our third child and having something to compare it with, we knew before the testing that he just didn't learn the same way that our older children did. Really struggled to read. Was in the public school system at the time in small group classroom setting. The teachers did a great job helping him with his struggles to read, but it was clearly tough for him, and really stayed that way for the next couple of years. Pursued a number of different techniques and activities outside of school to help Brett with his learning disabilities. We were lucky enough to stumble on a private tutor, and that was a big help. And not too long after that, when Brett was between middle school and elementary school, between the 5th and the 6th grade, we were introduced to Bill Allen and his reading program. And I think Bill's program really introduced some new techniques around sight words that seemed to make a tremendous difference in Brett's ability to read.
But the scary thing for us was, I think, in 2nd grade, all the kids were reading, and all the kids would sit down and read with the principal, and the principal came in to read with Brett one day, and Brett really, he could read some sentences in the words, but he would miss, the sight words because he couldn't put a picture with them. And, that's a big thing with dyslexic children, not being able to picture the words like a and the and of. But Bill, kind of introduced the program, and, it made a lot of sense. These kids, they can picture house, but they can't picture of, or they can't picture the. So Brett started working with the program, and working through it, I think it really has helped him. He has gone from very small group classes, kind of one-on-one teaching. Now he's in most team talk classes. Next year he'll be in a regular class for social studies. And every year he's kind of taken on, new kind of steps and progressed. He loves to read now, and he does well reading.
It just kind of aggravated me that I couldn't get it. I was kind of having trouble with small words like me, of, us, words that I couldn't put a picture to. His program helped me to picture those words. I can read a lot faster than I used to be able to, and school just gotten a lot easier. I used to have so much trouble in it.
I'll be honest, when Brett was in the 4th and 5th grade, I wondered how he would ever progress into middle school, how he would ever be able to catch up and do well in high school and secondary education. And there was just a tremendous turnaround in his ability to read, and then certainly from that, learn in all of his other subjects. He spent so much time and energy on reading in the early years that he was quite a ways behind in math and the sciences and the other topics. But boy, once the reading clicked for him, he was able to really make significant progress in all the other subjects. We couldn't be more proud of him in terms of the progress that he made.
Well, and Brett even made honor roll this year in 8th grade, so we were extremely proud of him with that. And the reading's a big part of it. It plays into everything, and then he'll be able to go on to college and do well there.
And I really believe Bill's program had a great deal to do with Brett being able to not just make it, but frankly excel in the public school system. So, and that's been the right fit for him, because in addition to being a good student, he's an athlete and a very social kid, and really enjoys the setting in that school system. So it's worked very well for us. Well, let's face it, if you struggle to read, you pretty much struggle at everything. And whether that's reading for fun, or reading a textbook, or reading the playbook for a football team.
It helps me picture the plays better. To think of the plays, because we have to remember a lot of things for the plays, and I kind of can picture them now. And that's helped me.
Struggling to read is a tough thing, and I know parents struggle with it. We certainly did when Brett was diagnosed with learning disabilities, typically known as dyslexia. frankly, I was worried, depressed, didn't know where to turn, got on the internet like everybody does, did a lot of research, and it was pretty depressing. You see lots of stories about people who are never able to overcome that inability to read. And we tried a lot of different programs, some that worked great, some that were frankly a waste of time and money, and certainly Bill's program was one that worked for us.
Even though we were very skeptical and didn't know if it would work, it obviously has helped Brett.
It kind of like pulled all my reading together. It kind of pulled everything together and made me a good reader.
When Bill first described the program to me, it made sense to me because without the ability to understand and place those sight words correctly in a sentence,
right,
everything gets jumbled up. And I was frankly confused. I mean, one thing that I realized early on is Brett learns a very different way from the way I learn. And I was confused about how he could read a difficult word and pass right through and completely miss the many sight words. And I never really focused on what that does to comprehension until we sat down with Bill and heard him describe the program to us. So I think Brett's description is right. It sort of ties everything together. For us, Bill's program worked incredibly well. It was definitely time well spent and money well spent and made a big impact on Brett's ability to read. So it's one of the programs I would definitely encourage them to pursue.